In the Import dialog window, regardless of what you've chosen up here, copy as DNG, copy, move, or add, you'll always have the option over here in the right panel to apply during import either develop setting presets, metadata presets, or keyword. Okay, so what does this mean? Let's go through the various options here. The develop settings, if you want, for example, to apply one of Lightroom's out-of-the-box develop presets on the import. So this means that all the images will come in, will look exactly the same way, will have the same preset applied to them. You do that here. What you see here are the out-of-the-box develop presets, and you can select from this list here. You can also, if you've created develop presets earlier in the develop module, that'll also appear in this list here, and you can apply them on the import. Now, what does that mean? It means that, for example, if I want all these pictures to come in with a slightly saturated look, let's say I've come up with some kind of a system where I want to apply that to all the images. I know it's going to work regardless of what type of image it is. I could do that on import. It might be more useful, however, to do all this later and not necessarily do them as a batch thing. Now, the metadata, I have a little bit different feeling about that because there is certain metadata that I like to add to my images just automatically on the import, and I don't even have to think about it later. And I'm going to show you a way right now to create a template. All you have to do it is once, and then you're done. So let me walk you through that. I'm going to create a new one. So select New, and this metadata preset dialog opens up. This is filled with fields. You can spend a lot of time filling in all these different fields. All this information that you fill in will then automatically be put as metadata into each individual file as it comes in. Everybody's going to have different thoughts about what they want to do, how deep they want to get into this. Let me just show you something that I do that I think is just kind of basic, that I think just about any photographer should have at least this template at their fingertips. I would select copyrighted, so that all my images or any images that come in will automatically have that tag. I'm going to put my name here under the copyright because that's important to me. And then I can give it a certain right, like all rights reserved. And I'll put my website there so people can find me. And this goes into the EXIF data. This will always be associated with that image file. I also fill in the creator field, and you'll see as we work our way through Lightroom and all the different things you can do with it, you'll see how useful it is to have the creator field filled in already so that it can be used in slideshows or in the print module. That's just one of the fields I find pretty useful. Keywords, you can add keywords later in the library module, and this is where it gets a little bit problematic because every individual image is going to have different content, most likely. One picture may be a sunset, another picture could be a sheep or a dog, and keywords generally are associated with individual components or content of a particular image. So this is a general preset that will apply to all images, so I don't find it that useful to add keywords here. You could add keywords later in the library module to each individual image as you go along. All right, so this needs a name. I'll call it generic. ALND. So that becomes the generic template that will handle basic information like my name, copyright, and the creator. And since I work with other photographers, I can create these metadata templates for them as well. So I have as many as I want. They'll all appear here after I create them. It's very handy for identifying images to particular photographers. Keywords, again, this is mimicked from what we saw in the metadata template. I can add keywords, but now these are going to be applied to all the images. So if maybe I could come up with a particular keyword that would apply to all these pictures. For example, maybe there was a location they were all shot at. But as far as the content, the real useful aspect of using keywords, that's really based on the individual content of the picture. Like this is a flag. If I wrote flag here, it wouldn't apply to the next image that doesn't have a flag. You get where I'm going with this. Okay, so that's something that you can apply regardless if you've chosen add, move, copy, or copy as DNG. It will always appear as an option. And I'm not so keen on develop setting. You may find that useful for yourself. Metadata, definitely create your own little metadata generic template so that it's ready to go.